Hey, this is Josie Ong with Affirmation Pod, your home for personal development, where I create actionable content that you can try before you hit the sack tonight. This is the last episode on the theme for this month, which is pivots. And today's episode is an actionable tip on small wins. So in the first episode of this month, we celebrated our pivots that we've made in the past while looking for little nuggets on how to make future pivots. And even just referring to pivots, it sounds much more manageable than change. Change is hard. We know this. It interrupts the system that our brains are used to. It interrupts our habits. It interrupts our lifestyle. It interrupts our way of thinking, our nervous system. So that's why the New Year's resolutions don't always get kept. Actually, they usually don't get kept. And realistically, the pain of staying the same, when it hurts more than the pain of change, that's often when change will stick or be some sort of wake-up call that happens. And I remember specifically within a 2-month period, I found out that 2 of my community contacts that I worked with for quite a long time in my contract work, one was an elementary school principal and the other was a psychologist and also a university professor. Both of these men had heart attacks and they used the same 3 words that kind of gave me chills to my bone. They said, I almost died. And for them, they recovered. They were able to go back to work. And both of them changed their lifestyle in the area of exercise and nutrition. The psychologist, he revisited a very old love of his, which was biking. And that was his form of exercise. He even started with his wife planning biking trips as part of their vacation time. The elementary school principal, he bought a very nice treadmill and put a TV in front of it, and he is a big sports fan. He decided, all right, instead of sitting on the couch and watching these games, I'm going to be on the treadmill. So, and as much as these were definite wake-up calls for them, most of us don't go through these big wake-up call experiences that precipitate a lifestyle change. We have these goals in mind and these ideas of how we want to live our lives, and yet we often find ourselves with thoughts of never enough, right? So never enough time, not enough motivation, not enough energy, not enough support, not enough skills, not enough money, not enough willpower, not enough of whatever it takes to make that lasting change. And that's where small wins can help us because it builds confidence, it's quick, and it's very small and manageable. I heard it said before that if you don't have mastery over a sink full of dirty dishes, how are you going to have mastery over balancing a checkbook, managing your weight, developing a work-life balance, walking away from an addiction? So here's a few examples of small wins. If you're looking for less coffee consumption or to save a bit of money, how about ordering a small coffee instead of a medium? If you're hoping to get more rest and sleep or wanting more time to prepare healthy meals or to exercise or meditate, how about going to bed 10 minutes earlier? I've had clients who struggle with finances start putting $5 into their savings account per month as a start. I also heard of someone who does 1 push-up before checking their phone. 1 push-up, just 1, because 1 would get done. And that's what small wins are about. Getting things done starts with getting things done. I look at my own life and where I fit small wins in. I'm in my 3rd trimester of my pregnancy as I record this, and some days I can fit meditation in, and some days I don't. But one thing that gets done pretty much every day is right after I've got my daughter ready for bed and we've got her pajamas on, and she knows she's ready for it, we take 10 deep breaths together. And I've got these accompanying arm movements, partly to keep her entertained and partly to help with the meditation. This actually inspired the 10 deep breaths episode that you can find at affirmationpod.com/10 breaths. But I'm also into stretching when I'm at the park with my daughter and she's on the swing. And I know I probably look like a weirdo stretching my hamstrings or my triceps, but I'm at the point where I don't care. And when I think back, it does make sense that I would do something like this because I remember before, if I was ever in an elevator by myself, I would do calf stretches. Even if I knew there was cameras in that elevator, I didn't care. Although when I was thinking about sharing this in this episode, I thought, man, you're going to think I'm kind of a weirdo. And I'm like, well, but that's okay. I'm just being me. I'm telling you that, yeah, I could definitely be in an elevator stretching my calves at any point. It's funny because I was reading a post by Tim Ferriss, who is one of the top podcasters in the world. And this long post, I'll link to it in the show notes. He talks about how he started his podcast, the downloads he gets, the sponsors he gets, the money he's making from it, all this stuff. But what I loved was at the end, he was just like, you know what, be yourself, show your warts, weirdness, and all. And so I'm like, hey, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm going to show you my weirdness. If you want to learn more about small wins and making changes in your life by working in partnership with your brain, I have an announcement. I just launched a mini course called the Change Framework, which walks you through ways you can engage and retrain the thinking, feeling, and reacting sides of your brain to make lasting changes in your life. If you're interested, head over to affirmationpod.com/change. That's affirmationpod.com/change. And use the promo code SMALLWINS to get $30 off. Yep, you'll save $30 when you use the promo code SMALLWINS at affirmationpod.com/change. That wraps up our month on pivots. We start fresh next week with a new theme, reflection, and a new worksheet, the reflection worksheet. But until then, keep celebrating you and the amazing qualities you have. This is Josie with Affirmation Pod, your home for personal development. Thank you so much for pressing play and listening today. Bye for now.